Hello, I think we're going live. Are we live? We are live. Hi, everybody. Gonna wait just a moment to get people on. It's Tuesday night in quarantine. Hold on just a second. Let's see who's here, who's gonna be on. Are live. Ask me questions. Tell me what you love. Trying to get people in. I don't know if they knew it was a Q&A, but we kind of made it a Q&A. So just wanting to pop in and get folks involved. Thank you, everyone, for watching the first week of 50 Blind Dates with Melissa DuPrey. This has been wild, right? I have so many angry tias in my inbox right now telling me who to date, telling me about who's got good energy, who doesn't have good energy. It's really been lovely. So let me see, can everybody hear me okay? Great. Thank you. So yeah, so it's the feedback has been incredible. I'm so appreciative of everyone watching the show and catching up on the updates and sending me all of these amazing messages. It's really been intense. It's been a wild ride. I have not left this chair and it seems like 4 weeks. So I've spent a bulk of the quarantine in it, but I do not work alone. This show absolutely cannot just be created by myself. I have an amazing team. So before anything gets started, I want to give a shout out to my incredible executive producers on this team, starting with Miranda Gonzalez and Wendy Mateo and Carlos Jimenez Flores. This team has been with me since day one. They received this late night text message that you'll see a little bit more about in the upcoming minutes. And they have been paramount in making the show work. So Miranda Gonzalez, let's just start back. Miranda Gonzalez is part of the executive producing team where she was also part of the curating team, the vetting team, and the panel, but she's really in charge of making sure everything flows, that there's a timeline, that we're working in ways that are productive, that we're not overlapping, and everyone has a clear delegation. Wendy Mateo has come in with all of her producing abilities and her creative editing. She is a filmmaker. She's got a great eye. She helped us set up our style and our format for the first 2 shows. Like, what are we gonna watch? What are we missing? You'll see that there's a lot of confessional footage and some B-roll footage. All of that was created early on. It was recorded by me, and then Wendy helped put us all into a way that we can flow with this series, and the show is just absolutely stunning because of her eye. Carlos is the muscle behind all of it. He really has put together a way to pump out the products. So our first episode was directed by Rudy Rubio, and so he is on Carlos's team, and Carlos said, you know what, yes, let's put this together. Carlos is a huge producer, also a filmmaker, and just, you know, a king and badass way to get shit done. So these are the people behind the camera helping to get it all together. Now, we've had several editors. It takes about 2 days to turn around an episode that goes from a 1-hour Zoom date with a B camera and a confessional to a 10 to 15 minute version of what you've been seeing. So if you're watching this, feel free to pop on to the watch party or the thread and ask me a question. I'm taking questions, so at any point you could pop in a question right now. So yeah, primarily the process behind it is intense. It takes about 2 days to turn around an episode, 2 full days if you're working nonstop. So we've been pumping them out regularly. Now, I just want to, it seems a little wild to be creating an entire series from your living room. This is my sala, this is my home. I absolutely have, I absolutely have all of the intentions of continuing doing it this way. I'm about 25 dates in, 25, 26 dates in. So I still have room for more dates. If you feel like you are the lucky person to be on the other end of the Zoom, please make sure you go to the 50 Blind Dates Facebook page and fill out the form. Hey, loves, and just come on in. It's a 1-hour session with me, and we just find ways to stay connected as human beings. So yeah, it feels pretty wild to just think that you can create in your own home, but I am a creative, and when quarantine happened, it shut down a lot of our work. It shut down our abilities to create. It shut down our abilities to work in places that are filming, so spaces and studios and theaters. All of that was shut down. But what was also shut down was our ability to connect with people. So yes, I'm single, and I've been single for quite some time. But it was really noticeable that what people in general were saying, I miss my friends. And the reason that they wanted to even risk going out was to see those people. And so if we really are missing people in quarantine and in social isolation, how do we connect with more people? And so even just trying to stay connected, you know, I was really getting frustrated with a lot of things that were happening as far as communication and staying connected intentionally with people. So I want to give you a little moment of the night that this show was born. I had just flipped, and I got so upset, and I ended up video blogging a little bit. So I'm going to share that with you. Hold on just a second. Share. I'm sharing with you a little bit of what happened the night everything popped off. Quarantine got me fucked up. I don't do this. I never do this. Like, I never do this. You don't see me posting personal stuff up. The most you hear is about me and my abuela. When was the last time you saw me in a relationship? Like 3 years ago. 3. And he made me hide it. If I meet one more Virgo man. How do you date in quarantine? I'm not good at swiping left. I'm not good at swiping right. If you were to put all the people I've ever like had a relationship with on Tinder or on OkCupid or Match, I still wouldn't swipe on them because everything is about the vibe. Everything is about like connecting with the person, and granted, like I don't take anything very like casually. Like something has to attach me, and attachments right now, they're literally driving me crazy on top of like having to structure my own life during quarantine. So what do? So at 9:30 tonight on this Monday, I wrapped myself in a blanket, decided to go to bed because I was just done with this day, and I was on the verge of crying and really not talking to anybody about my emotions today. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna get 4 or 5 of my trusted friends, and I'm gonna ask them for their help. I wanna go on 50 blind Zoom dates from now until the end of quarantine. And I want to leave out of quarantine with a dateable person. So this is an effort to do some self-realization and actualization for me, and I'm gonna commit to a daily blind date to see if connections are still real, if our humanity is still intact, and if we can still find ways to love each other and ask for the kinds of communication that we want that's gonna make us feel good. And hopefully you can watch me through this process, and let's see what makes you feel good. Oh, how am I gonna sleep? that's me in a nutshell. How am I gonna sleep? So I am definitely not sleeping very well, but I am catching up. So yeah, that was the first night where I was just like, that was April 27th. April 27th to the end of June. We have recorded halfway through our dates. We have processed 10 of them as episodes. We've broken things down into season. We have moved in lightning speed. Trust that this process has been like no other. We've never experienced a pandemic before. I have never created inside of my living room before. This is the first show that I'm starring in, that I am creating myself. I have self-produced my own work live in theater. Live in theater. Hey, Denise. For a very long time, but never something like this where I can control the narrative. And again, you know, when we think about our media and we think about who's controlling our narratives, this is something that has propelled me into creating, right? And so if I wanted to see a Black Boricua woman, queer, progressive, do I have to write it, or can I just create the thing that I wanted to see and put myself into it? So part of this was just about, I have to let people know I exist. I have to let people know we have feelings, our humanity's at stake right now. And so I just really feel like, you know, it had to happen. It was one of those things where like you have a restless night and you know that you're gonna explode if you don't put this idea down on paper, if you don't write that poem, if you don't make that song. It was one of those nights that I was up till 3 a.m. texting my girlfriends, hey, are you down? Are you gonna ride? Do you wanna ride with me? Are we going through this? And they said yes. They still didn't have any idea what it was that I was actually pulling them in on. They got an email the next morning with a completely organized Google Drive with marketing, with branding, with messaging. All of that stuff was done within 24 to 48 hours. So now we're dating, right? Now I've gotten April Maria, Cristiana Ray Colon's mother, who's part of a talent agency. Hi, Rosa. Thank you so much for watching all of the episodes and being such a beautiful, supportive person. We're just talking about how we got some of these dates, right? And so a lot of the dates that you'll see at the first half of the show are going to be actors because they were pulled from Chicago Talent, from April Maria, from the Gill talent group. So that's why most of them are performers or, you know, content creators. And part of the reason that is because they were going to be the easiest person to say yes to, yeah, I'll go on a show. But what we're facing right now is the difficulty of getting them in. But we did get, the first 2 weeks I was doing dates back to back, double dates. And so this is what that looked like for a little bit of time. This is some behind the scenes of what it takes to create. So I'm just finishing up on my first week of Zoom dates. They've all been amazing. I'm doing a lot of editing technology. Like, this shit is hard. What's not hard is showing up and being present. That is the most fun and easy part of this whole process. I'm really learning that I have shitty Wi-Fi, and thank you all for putting up with a lot of it. But this has just been such an incredible experience so far. I've had 9 dates in 7 days. I was supposed to have 10, but one of them is a firefighter and couldn't show. It got called. But I can't wait to have that connection next week. And I'm excited to get with my panel and my Zoom team, my betting team, the Boom Boom team, to talk about why they chose some of these dates, and talk about how they went, what they picked up. I'll share what I picked up, and we'll see which one person out of 9 I get to choose and like put them on I definitely want to continue talking to this person. And we'll see if they even feel the same. I think that people are just like looking for something to do, and I don't know if this is something that they'd be interested in, because that's, everybody has a choice, right? So we'll see. But man, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work. I'm a producer. I know what it takes to create something from scratch and the marketing and communication behind it. But man, this is just, it's so much content. It's so much, there's just big files, you know, and nothing is really working the way that I was envisioning it. But I am working on ways to like make it work. So the kind of creativity behind it is having a vision of what it looks like and then working backwards from there. And then trying all the things. I was like, oh, that kind of technology that I'm thinking about doesn't even exist yet. And so trying to figure out ways to make it work. So yeah, this has been quite interesting. Yes, so this is where we're at. Those nights have been hard. You know, there's a lot of data, a lot of information to compile and organize. Someone said, Rosa said she loves the panel. That's the most fun part of the whole show. When I get together, I can have a drink with the girls. We let our hair back. They all watch all of the dates. They watch all of the footage, and we get to just talk about it and have some real moments. The panel is absolutely my favorite part. I do also love the dates. Thanks all. Thanks, Karina. So part of the realness about having a dream. Let's just talk about the seed to harvest process. Is that everybody has a wonderful idea. Everybody has the ability to create what they want. What really is limiting is resources, right? Knowledge on how to put it together, access to that technology, money, right? We're paying for people's time. So just so you know, every single one of these dates, the episodes themselves, cost a little over $200 to make, every single one of them. And that's a steal. I'm working with some of the best editors in town. I'm working from editors from Cinema Libertad, Robert Stockwell, Olivia Curry has been one of them. I'm working with editors from freelance editors that came out of Free Spirit Media, like Jasmine Williams. I'm also working with Diane Lee from Two in the Bush. And I'm also working with Anna, I forget her last name because she's part of the Good Mothers team that Wendy Mateo brought in. So we have mostly femme, mostly queer, mostly POC teams, but these editors are absolutely some of the best editors in the city, and they are working with me for the low, really. But it costs, just in the basic editing, a little over $200 for their time, and that's because we're pumping it out very, very fast. Imagine what a little bit more can do. So at the break of our first season, we are going to be asking for shmoney. We are going to be asking for sponsorship. So if you wanted to sponsor an episode, it's a $200 donation, and you are the sponsor of that whole episode. We're also going to be launching a campaign just to continue to crowd raise funds for the next season. We've broken everything down into seasons. Seasons are going to be 10 episodes and a recap. So we will have 5 seasons. It will be robust, but I can't go broke doing it. I've got expensive habits. I have a dog to feed. So we want to make sure that the show exists. And so many times in the building of a beautiful piece of work created by somebody from anywhere, the biggest barrier is money. The biggest barrier is not doubt. It's not will. It's not dedication. It is resources. So if you really love the show and want to see it continue and succeed, please consider making a donation or hitting me up and say, I want to sponsor episode 12. And we will put sponsored by Rosa Torres, sponsored by Mikey O, sponsored by whoever, sponsored by your abuela. If you want to come into the panel, we can do that. Let's just talk. I really want to see it exist. So enough about this. I want to share with you now some bonus footage. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, I did take just a few moments from some of the favorite parts of the dates that you've seen, 1 through 5, just last week. And I'm going to share some things that didn't make the dates. So hold on just a sec, and we're going to first start with Ellie. Everybody remembers Ellie, right? Lito Ellie. Well, this is what you missed.
I went with a friend of mine like 3 years ago. I took her to go see the Blue Man Group.
Oh my God, I love the Blue Man Group.
So something that they do really cool if you've been to a show is that they use somebody from the crowd and they do the prop with them.
Yes. Yes.
So my friend really wanted that painting, so I helped her pay for it, and she put it in her living room, and it's always the piece of a.
It's incredible. I thought the Blue Man Group was supposed to be like this hokey thing, this really kind of like circus act, until my cousin says, no, you gotta check it out. I went and I was screaming. I was there with the 7-year-olds like, do it again. And they all have like these social justice themes in them, and they're really well rehearsed. And I'm a percussionist too, and so like all the percussion is just spot on, but they all had like connection messages, and it was it's family friendly, but it's not a hokey show. I was even out of here, I'm like, why doesn't all of Chicago go to Blue Man?
Right, that's right.
Incredible.
It's a great show.
The art, and they change it all the time, but the art that comes into it, I mean, like the design, the technical components of it, man, it's a sharp show.
After I went, the Blue Man Group in Orlando, my brother lives in Tampa with his wife and his kids. I told my brother, I'm going to give you tickets to go to the show in Orlando, because the show in Orlando is going to be different from the one here. So I told him, go to the show. I know you don't like that kind of stuff, because my brother's at hardcore. I don't care about none of that stuff, the reggaeton and all that stuff. So I was like, just go to the show. Go once, you're not paying for it, I'll pay for it. Tell me what you think. My brother's like, all right, whatever. He goes, he called me as soon as he went outside the doors of the show in Orlando, and he goes, where have they been all my life?
Oh my, it's just that I was flabbergasted. I left out of there, I'm like, this, and it's right there on Belmont, and I'm like, it's local. People don't know, but really it's about the ticket. Sometimes it's that ticket price, unless I find it on Groupon or what's it called, cheap, not they do that half price. Yes, Hot Ticks. They always have specials, but it's still like a $30, $40. It's so worth it. Dito Ellie, that was Dito Ellie. So we were talking about the Blue Man Group. I love the Blue Man Group, but some of these things don't get into the dates because we just want to capture the most connected moments that will help us move. So these are the things we curate. Next up is one of y'all's favorites, Kevin. So Big Kev had his moment, and I'm just, hold on just a second, let me find it. Big Kevin had his moments, and I'm just so intrigued by how he was able to just hold everything together. We had one of the best dates, and I was really digging it. So let's get in for Kevin. Hold on. Wait, what Italian ice place you be taking Future? Future, I love Miko's. So Christian Bera is on the thread right now. What's up, Christian? Christian is thinking about like what place do we take people for Italian ice? And my favorite, I'm not gonna lie, I love Miko's in Logan. Does anybody else have a suggestion of where to take people? No? Yes? Yes? All right. Well, here's Kevin. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. I'm looking for it. Hold on. Let's see. Okay.
But she wasn't trying to convert me. She wasn't like deep Muslim, but she's Muslim.
Oh no, wait, hold on. We don't have his sound. Where is my Kevin? Where is my Kevin? Poor Kevin. Don't you face slap me.
But she wasn't trying to convert me. She wasn't.
So I'm not okay.
Can you hear it? Can you hear this audio?
But she wasn't trying to convert me. She wasn't like deep Muslim.
Mario's Italian Ice on Taylor. Great.
And she's, whatever, which is good. That's her religion. It's cool. But it wasn't just that. I just couldn't.
Jimmy's Hot Dogs. That's a date.
It wasn't really just a long distance thing. Her attitude was like really. Okay, I've used profanity maybe 2 times during our conversation.
Can't hear? Okay, I'll redo this and I'll release it later because I need to fix his audio. Sorry, Kev. My bad, Kev. Poor guy. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, we can't hear it. I'll get. I'll make it up to Kevin. I promise. Let me see. I think I put it in here on desktop. Nope.
But she wasn't trying to convert me. She wasn't.
Yeah, I'll fix the audio on this. My bad, Kevin. He gets the short end of the stick, but that's just the way it works sometimes. You know, he has more than enough access. So here's another moment that didn't make the cut is Veron.
Oh,
It's the waiting
this
room.
guy's a firefighter, so I hope he knows how to handle a hose. Or he can put out the fire in my heart. We see. Okay, we are recording. Okay. Let's see what happens. Keeping it tropical. Chicago's got the longest winters ever. I just, CFD is like, there's not one ugly guy in the fire department. I think there's like a prerequisite that you have to be hot in order to be a firefighter. I almost faked an asthma attack just so I can get some guys to come to my house. It's a very expensive date. Not tripping. But I will say I dodged a makeshift tracheotomy just in time. So, it's 6:01. Let's have some fun with firefighter.
And then here's a moment that didn't make Veron's date.
At some point, when do people pick up phones anymore? I love calling, I love hearing your voice or getting on the phone, because by the time we have a 30-minute conversation, that's a 2-hour text exchange. That's also saving time.
Yeah, I don't have the patience to sit and text all day.
No. And it has nothing to do with like old school, new school. It's about how you as a person decide to give someone your time and energy, because if the most expensive thing we have in this world is our time and our love, we have to be very careful of how we choose to do that. And I think a lot of people are being frivolous with their time and energy. Or maybe not frivolous, but like it's not as intentional as it could be.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I think a lot of the, like I said, I think it's convenient. And when people meet on like a site, I think they feel that a lot of the legwork is done. If both people are being honest, it's like you're kind of reading a person's profile, you're looking through their pictures, and it's like you kind of have an idea or think you have an idea of who they are when you meet them, instead of meeting somebody and you have to ask a bunch of questions and different stuff like that. So I think a lot of people are just trying to skip a lot of the legwork. It's easy to just look at somebody's pictures and then make guesses, I guess.
feel like if we had the go over there. I feel like if we had the opportunity, that's my dog.
Right.
I have a Labrador, and he like came up. He get around this time. He's like, pay attention to me.
Right.
I would want to do something that gets you out of your shell, like axe throwing or go karts.
Oh yeah, I could do that. I'm open to that, and I do it. I just more recently I haven't done much stuff like that, but you know, it's not really out of my shell. I do stuff like that.
Yeah, but in costume, you have to wear like a Game of Thrones setup.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be out of my comfort zone.
Nope. You're gonna wear a crown and like this big fur fleece overlying,
right?
Maybe some chainmail, and you have to walk everywhere asking people to call you sire.
Yeah, that would be different. I've never done that before.
Oh, I am just a nut. I completely kind of like cheesed up with Varan, and I've lost my damn mind. So that is just episodes 1 through 5. I have 45 more to go. So I've done 27 dates. I've done almost 30, right? And so I still need 20 people. So if you want to get in the Zoom, or if you know somebody that would love to be on the other side of the Zoom with me, now that you know how this show works, and now that you know what we're doing with it, it's really about connection. Remember, I'm trying to break the idea of what dating is. Dating is fluid, connections are solid. So I want to just continue to encourage people that this is about that, and it's really who can Melissa have a really good time with at a date post-quarantine when it's safe. So I'm so grateful for everybody who has been sharing the show and watching the show and keeping up with everything. I can't thank you enough. It is so much work. Again, my team is incredible. Wendy Mateo, Miranda Gonzalez, Carlos Jimenez Flores. Thank you so much for your love and support in this. Their pages are just as good as my pages. All of the content is there. Now, can you go back and binge watch this stuff? Absolutely. It's happening in a season. So you can go and find it on YouTube at 50 Blind Dates with Melissa DuPrey, Instagram, 50 Blind Dates, the IGTV, and Facebook, of course, the 50 Blind Dates Facebook page. We have it on the Watch series. You can find it there. You can find all the latest episodes. We try to plug them in Monday through Friday at 7:30 p.m. and the recap episodes in Saturday afternoons whenever they get to us. So that's all for tonight. Thank you for popping in. I'm so privileged to have this platform, and I just want to say hi to everybody that popped in. Tony Santiago, Miranda Gonzalez just popped in, Robbie. We've got Pierre, Rosa Torres, Leo Negron, Denise, my girl, Rachel Green, Ben, Pat, Karina, my cousin. I got fam on the line. So please continue to share. We can't do this without your viewership. We can't find sponsorship. We won't be able to continue to pump out these episodes the way that we've been doing. And we'd love to continue on with this work because this narrative matters. This platform, the ability to create is so important for us right now, especially as we are rethinking and reimagining what shows look like, what TV looks like, what media looks like. And of course, you know, this skin is important. And I love my community, and I know my community lifts me all day long, and I'm so grateful. So thank you all so much for taking this ride with me, and we'll see you tomorrow at 7:30 with episode 107. Lázaro. He's that big burly beefcake that you saw on the teaser. So he's gonna be coming up tomorrow, so make sure you stay tuned. I love you, and remember, you are never alone. Stay well. Bye-bye.